Welcome back to our channel from Paris. I remember waking to a rainy day in Paris. We got ready and left the apartment around 8 am. Luckily, we had an umbrella with us, so we walked to the nearest metro station, Coty, and had to take two metro trains, which was near to a particular cafe we had booked for breakfast. Now, we chose this cafe firstly because it had good reviews, and also because it was in the same locality where we were planning to spend the whole day. Being in France, the first thing we didn't want to miss was to have a treat to the famous French croissant. The croissant was flaky and crispy outside and buttery inside. It was served with hot coffee and some fresh fruits and juice. And this breakfast was really delightful. After a quick breakfast, we just walked along the streets. For our second day in Paris, we had done prior bookings for a visit to the world's largest museum, Louvre Museum. And as we already had some idea that a whole day was actually not enough to tour the entire museum, so we did not make any other bookings for this day, but had in mind to randomly walk around and visit places in the neighborhood if we had time. Since our booking at the Louvre Museum was at 11 am, we had some plans to visit a chocolate museum nearby. By then, the rains had ceased, and so we thought to give a try to visit the Choco Story Chocolate Museum, Paris. Unfortunately, that was not very far away from the Louvre Museum as well, and took the tickets for the tour inside. This is a chocolate themed museum with lots of history of chocolates, chocolate workshops, tastings, and live demo of chocolate makings. Different kinds of tickets are available with various activities inside, and even kids can have amazing chocolate activities. Mostly, families along with kids were seen, with kids enjoying the most. Touring inside, we also could taste different kinds of chocolates which were kept for tastings. The tickets for the tour inside are available online as well as at the site. But I think booking in advance is good to get slots as per your free time. And this museum is open from 10 am to 6 pm with a last admission at 5 pm. This place is really wonderful for chocolate lovers as you get to taste different kinds of chocolate at the different counters and levels. We had an amazing time inside learning the birth of chocolates and the work involved in turning a bitter cocoa to a sweet flavored chocolate which we all cherish. It is, of course, a good place for visitors to spend time in Paris and experience about chocolate making. This museum was quite large with three stories, each story having different kinds of chocolate activities. We toured the museum in less than 1 hour. There was also a counter with chocolates for sale, and so we bought some chocolates. We also took two hot chocolates with different flavors. and then walked out of the chocolate museum to go towards our next destination. The climate outside was cool after the rain, and the hot chocolates were a good mate along the walk. Then, walking along the main street, we came across a speck of tulips. Seeing the colorful tulips with raindrops on them reminds of the tulips we read in stories and novels. As the instinct, we took some pictures and clips. Then we continued our walk to Louvre Museum. After a walk of about 5 minutes, we could see the first glance of the museum at the other end of the road. As per our tickets, we had the entry from 11 a.m. onwards, and we were supposed to reach 30 minutes earlier. As we were right in time, so we walked slowly into the premises of the world famous Louvre Museum. The Louvre Museum is situated at the heart of the city, by the right side of Seine River and easily accessible. Being a prominent cultural landmark, it can be reached via all the transport means. And the nearest metro station is Palais Royal Musée du Louvre. Since we were already in the nearby vicinity, we thought to explore and have a walk. It was no surprise to see lots and lots of tourists and visitors. This museum is housed in the Louvre Palace, built in the late 12th and 13th century. Louvre Museum is a national art museum in France, established in the year 1973, with an exhibition of 500 paintings, which in course of time extended and now is said to have a collection size of more than 380,000 objects with 35,000 pieces of art on display. Proudly speaking, this museum is the single largest museum on earth. This Louvre pyramid was added in 1989 and sits in the Napoleon courtyard, which is in the front of the museum. The Louvre pyramid is the main entrance to the museum. It is always ideal to plan early and get your tickets done if you're planning to visit the Louvre Museum in Paris, because, as you know, it is one of the most admired places in Paris, and so there are high chances of the tickets getting sold out. To visit this museum, anyone can buy tickets online in advance, or if you are on a last minute plan, then the tickets are also available at the museum entrance. But the pre booked tickets helps you enter without much hassle and even skip the line. The morning hours are said to be the most busy hours. But if you're here only one day to tour the museum, then it's always good to book the slot as early as possible, because this is such a vast area of 80,000 square meters and never possible to even dream to complete the half of the museum. It is reported that this is the most visited museum on earth. The museum is open on every day from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. except on Tuesdays when it is closed, and on Wednesdays and Fridays it stays open till 9:45 p.m. And we were greatly happy to be standing inside this incredible storehouse of artworks, paintings, sculptures, and history as a whole. The museum also provides the museum map in several languages, which are really helpful for locating the must visit arts or sculptures. Though we were of the idea of touring and exploring the museum by ourselves, guided tours are also available for those who require. One of the greatest portraits ever painted, the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci, is of course one of the most sought pieces of art here. There was a large queue of visitors for their turn to picture and to get pictured with Mona Lisa. If you would like to know more about our travel and our first stay in Paris, then please to watch our previous videos. I give the link to that in the description box. Mona Lisa, Venus de Milo, Coronation of Napoleon, The Virgin and the Child are some of the artworks which are most sought by the visitors. I have heard it say that it takes about 3 to 4 days to complete the museum tour in a normal pace. We had spent a good lot of time in watching the art pieces and sculpture inside the huge museum and thought to leave the place by 4 p.m. as we were a little tired walking and also had some other plans for the day. It was past 4 p.m. and the weather was also pleasant after the morning rain. Our next activity for today was to do a cheese or wine tasting. These kinds of activities are real fun time and we get to learn something new about the culture as well. Searching online, we found a place nearby with some good reviews for cheese tasting. As the location was close by, we thought to have a walk. Excitement was in the air as this was the first time we were in for a cheese tasting. We had a good walk through streets, parks, roadways, and finally reached our destination. Booking was done online, and so we could get directly a seat at the parlor. There were also a few number of tourists who were with the same motive like us. We were soon served with 8 different kinds of cheese and few flavors of wine as well. Then a brief note of the origin and the history of making the cheese served were explained to us, and that was a good piece of info we got to know. After this activity of cheese tasting, we left the parlor. We took a metro from Louvre Rivoli station and got down at Franklin D. Roosevelt, a station near to Champs-Élysées Avenue. We reached Champs-Élysées, one of the world's most famous commercial street. This avenue is situated in the heart of Paris, running between Place de la Concorde and the Arc de Triomphe, and is famous for its luxury shops, theaters, and beautiful gardens. Throughout the year, Champs Elysees hosts a whole lot of cultural activities and celebrations and is an entertainment venue attracting a lot of locals and tourists alike. The climate was favorable, so we had an amazing walk along the Champs Elysees Avenue, taking some pictures and videos. Another most important popular place visited by tourists is the Galeries Lafayette, a French department store on the famous Champs Elysees Avenue. It is a famous department store and has got many branches elsewhere. We then made a short visit to the Galeries Lafayette in Champs Elysees, Paris. A good number of people were seen walking in and out of this French department store. The interior decor was really beautiful and trendy and full of life. This re-owned store is well known for its extensive collection of designer and luxury fashion. People flood in here to shop as well as to experience the innovative display of brand products and high-end fashion labels. It has sections dedicated for home decor, lifestyle products, cosmetics, and gourmet food section. We got to know that the Galeries Lafayette also host special events like fashion shows, cultural and interactive displays as well. The show timings and the tickets can be availed from the official website, though we were late for the bookings. So, when you're visiting Paris, this department store is also a place worth to visit. After spending time and making small purchases in this Galeries Lafayette, we planned to have a walk to the world famous Arc de Triomphe. It was around 6 past, and we could see a lot of visitors in the Champs Elysees Avenue, walking, enjoying, taking pictures, and creating memories. Leisurely walking towards the Arc de Triomphe was a delightful experience. The big bus tour with passengers were also lovely to watch, and we were looking forward for our tour on the big bus very soon. After a walk of about 10 to 15 minutes, we reached the western end of Champs Elysees and encountered the iconic Arc de Triomphe in front of us. As we were a little tired after the whole day's walk, we chose to enjoy the beauty of Arc de Triomphe from outside. The entrance to the Arc de Triomphe is generally open on all days from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., except on special days or occasions, which are usually updated in the official website. This famous monument is built in honor of the French military who fought and sacrificed their lives for France during the French Revolutionary and Napoleon Wars. People visit this place to connect with history, remember the fallen, and witness the victory and despair of the military in one place. It stands in the center of a large roundabout known as Place Charles de Gaulle. It has the names of French victories and generals inscribed on the inner and outer surfaces. Ever since the construction of this monument, it has become a symbol of national pride and is also one of the most visited landmarks in Paris. Walking and enjoying along the Arc de Triomphe is free for all, and so morning and the evening hours are mostly crowded with tourists. And anyone can reach this place by the bus services which has stopped near the Arc de Triomphe and also has a nearest metro station called Charles de Gaulle Étoile. Then our next plan for the day was to witness the night view of Eiffel Tower. So after spending some time at the Arc de Triomphe, we walked towards the nearest bus stop to take bus towards the Eiffel Tower. As we already had the Navigo card, we could easily use the public means of transport as necessary throughout the day. We waited for the bus at the bus stop at Charles de Gaulle Atoll, and this was the first time getting into a Paris bus. Bus services are available in every 5 minutes. Soon a bus arrived and we got into it. And as it was full, we had to stand at the doorway. We were supposed to get down at a bus stop called Tour Eiffel, which is near to the Eiffel Tower, and this bus was supposed to reach the place in 15 minutes. In the meantime, few passengers got down at different stops, and then we moved inside and was enjoying the beauty outside. The use of public transport is the best and convenient way to travel around in Paris. As we had taken the Navigo passes, we could easily use the public means of transport as necessary. We can purchase the Navigo card or the Navigo pass from any ticket counters. Passes are available with validity for 1 day, a week, or even a month, and can be used in all means of transport in Paris. Suddenly, we realized we got robbed. Yes, we got robbed in the bus. The handbag I was carrying had a wallet with passports, our resident cards, driving license, and many more. The bus was moving, and there was no sign of anyone realize the scam. We were troubled to the core of heart and thought to get down the next stop. And fortunately, that was the Tour Eiffel bus stop. We searched our bags again and again and did not know what to do next. Our dream monument, the Eiffel Tower, was in front of us, but our hearts could no longer be happy. We stopped filming when we realized that we got into the scam, and so I do not have any more footages to show.